2. Art Tomelica 2 is a sequel that takes place around 1 years after the events of the first one, but in a different tower of the same world called RCL. To be honest with you, I saw very little resemblance between the two games in terms of story. I did see the connections here and there, but nothing crucial to understand this second part. I would call this game a standalone title that could be very well completely unrelated to the first Art Tomelica. The question then is it better than the first one? I'm not so sure. I personally found both games to be equally amazing. One stands out slightly more than the other in some things, but that's just it. I can't really decide which one I like the most, so I'm going to recommend them both. Turn-based RPGs with weird stories, cheesy moments here and there, and one aspect that has made them a little infamous that I have already mentioned several times in previous videos: the fan service. But let's not get into that for now, and continue on with the list. Next is Star Ocean 2, the second story. I wasn't going to include this game because I didn't know that all Star Ocean games were connected, some of them hundreds of years apart, turning them all into standalone titles. It wasn't until one of my subscribers described the chronology to me that I reconsidered this stuff and decided to include one of the best Star Oceans ever made. Thanks, man. So as you saw, this game takes place 20 years after the first one, and it tells the story of two main characters that you can actually choose from. However, I've done my 2 playthroughs with both of them, and I spotted very few differences in terms of story or missions. So whichever you choose on your first playthrough will be fine. So what's left to say? It's a classic! It's the first Star Ocean we got from Japan since its predecessor for the Super Famicom never did until its port to the PSP. The second story was ported as well to the PSP, now called The Second Evolution. So I can't say anything about it. But I did beat twice this masterpiece, and therefore I strongly recommend it. Number 5, Shadow Hearts. At last we arrive at one of the games that I talk about the most in this channel. But if it's the first of the series, you're probably wondering why it's on the list. The thing is, Shadow Hearts is considered to be a spiritual sequel to a game called Koudelka for the PS1. Shadow Hearts takes place 20 years after it. But story-wise, they have little relationship, even though some parts are crucial to fully understanding it. To avoid any possible spoilers, I'll refrain from making any explanations because in order to connect the dots between the two games, you really need to play them. Now, the question here might be, why wasn't this game called Koudelka 2 or something like that? The answer is quite big, and it will take an entire video to fully explain it. In fact, I have attempted to do it in previous videos, so you might want to check them out if you want to know more. The thing is that Koudelka failed as a game, but not without spawning this spiritual sequel that was so successful that they've made 2 more games in the series. Shadow Hearts is first, but it's still a great sequel. Nier Automata. Nier Automata is a spiritual sequel to a game that, in my opinion, is even more amazing, called simply Nier, a spin-off to the Drakengard series. It was called Gestalt for the Xbox 360 and Replicant for the PlayStation 3, but only in Japan. Here, it was just Nier. But I'm not here to talk about that game. I'm here to praise its sequel, like pretty much almost every game that out there who has played it. You know I'm a guy who has his own opinion on games, and sometimes I disagree with the majority's praising the big ones, but with Nier Automata, I agree with the fact that it's a masterpiece. Now, how is it connected to its predecessor? That, my friends, is extremely complicated to explain. In fact, even if I told the heck out of you, I still wouldn't be able to properly connect the dots. I'll try my best one day, but that'll have to be another video. The only thing that I can say right now is that this game takes place after the original Nier 4 and Mini. But tale. Every single Suikoden takes place in a different timeline, but allegedly in the same world. This game is obviously the sequel to the first game, taking place 3 years after it in a different part of the world, in a conflict initially between Highland and Joestone. So in terms of story, I've always felt every single Suikoden title can stand on its own with absolutely no need to play the others first. Of course, if you want to fully understand every single detail and the connection between these marvelous games, you'll have to play them all and do your own research. Needless to say, Suikoden 2 is a masterpiece, a great game, and it is considered by many one of the best JRPGs ever made. Unfortunately, it's a little infamous because it's also one of the most expensive RPGs for the PlayStation 1. This was due to having a limited print run at first, which prevented more gamers to get their hands on it, like me. Too bad, because it's one of those experiences every JRPG gamer needs to live. Number 2, Valkyrie Profile 2, Silmeria. It was gonna be really hard to explain to you why this game is on the list without any spoilers. So since I don't like doing that, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to be as ambiguous as possible. Some say it's actually a prequel, but no, because it takes place in a different dimension. Everybody knows this. What most people don't know until after they play the game or do some research is what could be a strong spoiler, so I'm not gonna say it. But the fact that I put this game on the list is obviously because I consider it as a sequel more than anything else. A spiritual sequel, for so to say. In any case, it's a great JRPG, my personal favorite for the PS2 and one that has been less and less hated over the years, thankfully, because I remember when it first came out, a lot of people criticized it here in America. I never understood why, since it was the first Valkyrie Profile that I played. About a year later I played the first one and I loved it as well, but I finally managed to see why the strong criticism towards it. The main problem is, as you might expect, with the story. I'm afraid you're gonna have to play it for yourself to understand why. But trust me, do so. Play this game. It's great. It's a great JRPG. Number 4, Chrono Cross. If you watch most of my videos or know me personally, you knew this was coming. It was inevitable. Chrono Cross is what I consider to be the best spiritual sequel of all time. I am aware that most people call it as one of the worst, but that's because they just can't understand that Chrono Cross is not Chrono Trigger 2. And by the way, I'm using Masato Kato's own words, the creator of these two amazing games. So, of course, if you wanted a Chrono Trigger direct sequel, it was obvious this game was going to disappoint you. But if you forget about that and think of it as a spiritual sequel, or merely as its own game, then you'll find out that it's a tremendously good JRPG. It's my favorite video game of all time. How is it then related to Chrono Trigger? Well, that's another answer that involves spoilers, I'm afraid. But I can say and confirm what everybody already knows, and that is that this game takes place just like Valkyrie Profile 2 in another dimension. In fact, that's the main topic of this game, 2 dimensions. Another thing to mention is that this game comes from Radical Dreamers, a game originally for the Satellaview, but only in Japan. It was a failure, so that's why the creators decided to turn that game into Chrono Cross. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a great game, my favorite RPG, and truly a masterpiece that people need to admit that it's just not Chrono Trigger 2. Okay guys, that's it. And as you saw, before you complain, I didn't include games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Switch, or Ni no Kuni 2, because those are new releases, and well, the reason is because I haven't played them. I have played Xenoblade Chronicles for like 1 hour or less. Ni no Kuni, I have never even touched it or seen it. So I'm sorry if I didn't include those games. I'm gonna leave them in the honorable mentions at the end of this part. And if they're great, if they're bad, or if they're criticized or whatever, I have no clue. What little I played of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it seemed like a pretty decent game. Maybe someday I'll play it, and maybe someday I'm gonna be praising it. But as for now, I'm sorry if I didn't include those types of games, those new games, new releases, or I never say this in my videos, but I'm sorry if I didn't include your favorite games. That goes for everybody who's been watching my videos. Remember, this is my personal opinion. These are my personal favorites. So maybe you have your own. And instead of hating on my video, just share them on the comment section below or make your own video. In any case, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time.
NFIB is the voice of America's trailblazers, the voice of small business.
Therefore, most people never really find out why such a great series died, or hasn't seen the light nowadays for a new title. And even though Grandia 2 for the PS2 had a lot of problems, and Grandia Extreme wasn't that good, Grandia 3 was met with positive reviews. But not really. And no, that's not the reason it failed. You'll be surprised to know that the real reason Grandia died is because the creator is also dead. To focus on another spin-off for Android that hasn't even left Japan since last year. First of all, Covenant of the Bloom had mixed reviews. Many people, including me, loved the story and the characters, but complained about the difficulty being unreasonable and unfair at times. Despite that, it was a very good spin-off, but we kept waiting and waiting for a new title for a console system. And even though the first game was ported to the PSP with additional features, Tri-Ace still made us wait. The problem is that they have made quite a few other games like Star Ocean, but none of their last entries have been critically praised. Despite that, they released a new Star Ocean last year, so maybe one day we'll get a new Valkyrie profile? I guess we just have to wait. Number 3, Chrono. Everybody, and I mean everybody, has been begging Square for a new entry in this series. Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo came out in 1995, later ported to the PS1 in 1999, and for the Nintendo DS in 2008. It is considered to be one of the greatest JRPGs of all time, or the greatest by a lot of people. Then came one of the stupidest ideas the team has ever made. Radical Dreamers, only in Japan, for something called the Salaview, an add-on for the Super Famicom. Why the hell, after the critical success of Chrono Trigger, will they release their next title only in Japan and for a damn add-on? Like seriously, why do they do that? Anyway, finally, after a couple of years, we got my favorite JRPG of all time, Chrono Cross, a spiritual sequel for the PS1 in 1999. So here's a team with two masterpieces, critically acclaimed and with a gigantic fanbase waiting for the true third game in the series. But did you know that the people who made Trigger did not make Cross? Two different teams within Squaresoft, yep, now Square Enix, produced two of the greatest JRPGs of all time. Do you think that's the reason the series is dead? Because they can't decide which team is going to make which game? Maybe the fear of making something that will never surpass Trigger is what's really keeping them away from this game. Because Chrono Cross, even though it's amazing, didn't keep us as Trigger. In any case, I don't want to be negative, but it seems like it will never be a new Chrono game again. Number 2, Growlancer. One of the series that was very successful in Japan was Growlancer, developed by Careersoft. Seeing that the first title in the series made for the PS1 but only in their country was a very well received game, they made two spiritual sequels for the PS2. Two games that didn't leave Japan until Working Designs produced Growlancer Generations in 2004, which includes those two titles called The Sense of Justice and The Dual Darkness. Great games. This Generations back was well received, so they brought a new Growlancer called Wayfarer of Time, but for the PSP. This is a different case, however, from what I've spoken about before, since it was a commercial success and it is considered to be one of the greatest JRPGs for the PSP. Then came Growlancer 5, Heritage of War, my favorite actually, returning to the PS2. And I am sad to say that even though it met positive reviews, and I still consider it to be far greater than all the previous titles, it didn't live up to its name outside Japan. The franchise was hurt because of it, and the next entry in the series, Precarious World, never left Japan. So why is this series dead? Because it was never that well received in the first place. Number 1, this terrible cover. Look at it! This is the manual, and that should have been the cover. Anyway, finally we arrive at number 1, and at my favorite JRPG series of all time, which began in 1996. This will surprise you deeply. In Japan, it is considered to be one of the greatest JRPG franchises, along with Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. It spanned 5 titles for the main series and 7 spin-offs, all of them loosely based on the classic Chinese novel By the River, or called Water Margin, revolving around war conflicts between several nations and centered around a character that reunites 108 characters, build up an army and fight them. 3 different battle systems on each title of the main series, turn-based combat, strategy sometimes as in real-time strategy, and duels. These are amazing JRPGs and I totally recommend them. So why is this series dead? It is the simplest reason out of the other 10 I've mentioned on this list. The development team had a huge fight, never reconciled their differences, and disbanded. Some attempts to revive Adventures and Tear Cries for the Nintendo DS, but almost none of the key members of the team was involved, and even though it met positive reviews, the game disappointed almost everyone in the entire world. Then came the PSP title, but it never left Japan for obvious reasons. The first 2 Suikoden titles, especially the second one, were critically acclaimed. The third title was well received, but it was met with some criticism. The fourth title was good, but not enough to compare with the previous ones, and people were very disappointed. However, Suikoden 5 was another huge success, and people were already there with this series. There will never be a new title. So sad. Anyway, guys, with your friends, and see you next time.
Had a funny cold day. Someone died. Someone's made.
Nobody beats Jared's price.
And nobody comes close to Jerome's in-stock selection, like the Sofa Shade sectionals.
Our Virgo with reversible shades, available in 2 colors, an incredible $3.95. Our plush Oasis with deep seating comfort, only $6.94.
The stylish mid-century Elm, just $7.97. And our top grain leather Calvin with premium dream seating, just $14.96.
And you get Jerry's price, backed by our double the difference price guarantee, only at Jerome.
Sabra Guacamole Snackers, made with fresh Hass avocados. Take the feeling with you.
Are games that are misunderstood since people were kind of expecting great things from them. They're just normal, nice JRPGs that I will recommend to pretty much anybody looking for a break from other complex deep stories or harder JRPGs. Number 9 is Lufia. We got the Fortress of Doom with Super Nintendo, also with the Super Nintendo, and the Legend Returns for the Game Boy Color.
Sports.
Live TV for sports.
Live TV for sports.
Sports?
Sports.
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 Next we have
Get a room TV for you, Fred.
Sports.
We got Eternal Mana.
Super Mario Brothers Super Show will return.
My dad says dinosaurs lay eggs, just like chickens. True, I looked it up. My dad says eggs have really important stuff like protein and vitamins, and they'll help me grow really fit. Even my dog likes eggs. My dad says they make the skull shiny. See, I told ya. My dad knows all sorts of neat stuff about eggs. Does yours? Why don't you ask him? Incredible edible eggs.
DJ19, all systems go. New Thunderjets fruit snacks are taking off with Super Fruity F-16s, F-14 Tomcats, SR-71 spy planes, MiG-27s, and the super cool stealth bomber. So top secret it's not in every pouch. All zooming way past mega scrumptious with a sonic boom of real fruit taste. New powerfully good Thunderjets, the fruit snack that goes fast. Porky Pig is working down on the ranch, and Bud Bunny flies by the seat of his pants. Joe Runner too is racing all around town, and Daddy Duck is gonna drive you There's a sea flying the coop, and here comes Sylvester chasing after him. Downcast toys from
Cobra's new recruits will have their toes shaking in their boots like the laser viper. Rip 'em on! And Metalhead, the one-man anti-tank weapon. And range vipers, so wild even I can't conceive them. Nice bunch of losers, reptile breath. I'll check out the new Joe. Like Salvo. I open tanks like they was cans. That's my new Joe. Starting tomorrow for more bad news. I'm gonna do something awesome. Collect Joe and Cobra Command rings. Free special packages.
Now back to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Yo, it's the Mario Brothers. And from this they get me found. See the boys still working on the train. With the punches the hand in the muscle land. Something acting with the fun with the pump of the brothers. Now evil Koopa and his troopers are up to misbehaving. They kidnapped the muscle land. Baby, abusing and confusing everybody. Discovered they can't tell the body. Hustle the brothers. Right back. Come on, Cupid.
We're dealing with a real mind here.
Now they're getting burgers here by the store. You can get one of your favorite heroes on the shelf every time you buy a Kids Club meal. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle baggies. For a limited time. Only at Burgers.
Very strong.
When Oopsie Daisy falls, she cries and gets right back up again. New from Tyco. The Baby Bubbles doll, new from Ideal.
Step into the future at Sequoia Institute and get the kind of training that can mean a good-paying job. Hands-on training with the latest equipment. Now you can turn your mechanical know-how and interest into a job as a car dealership technician, repair shop mechanic, or auto supply salesperson. Sequoia will train you for your state license exam and help qualified students get financial aid. Classes are forming, so call Sequoia Institute now for all the facts.
Jonathan gets advice on dating.
When you are planning a date, always make sure to give the lady a couple of choices.
Yeah. Like A, she's going, and B, she ain't. What are you kidding me?
But his date falls for Tony.
You stole Jenny.
I didn't mean to, Jonathan.
Yes, you did. You let her sit in the front seat. You bought her Cobras. You even made her cookies. You know what those chocolate chips could do to a woman?
On the net, Who's the Boss?
Who's the Boss? Tonight at 6 on Channel 2.
Mamma mia, this is Super Mario Bros. Part 2. Stick around, Paisano.
Orders are pouring in at the Kool-Aid Wacky Warehouse. It's wackier than ever. This year, we've got all kinds of wild new stuff, and you can taste our free hysterical Kool-Aid flavor. Purple Saurus Rex in the wackiest store in the world.
Now, if you send in your Kool-Aid points and order any stuff from the Wacky Warehouse by May 1st, you get an awesome mystery gift and 10 bonus points free. Kool-Aid points are on all Kool-Aid soft drink packages, and order forms are here.
Kids can flip, tumble, or skate, paddle, or dance, even pirouette. They do so many things. They're as cute as you can get. All together now! It's so great to watch and play. The Bouncy Kids can make your day. Bouncy Kids can bouncaloo.
The Berry Bears present...
Relax! And no more fruit snacks.
I like the magic horse. I'll take you home.
Your folks, like you found them.
Can you stay?
These fruit snacks can. Like the magic horse, new inside the Berry Bears fruit snacks.
With wings.
Just like me. More Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Wait, we better taste it. It is cinnamony and sweet. Crunchy too. That means it's Cinnamunchy Crunchy.
Do something. They're eating all the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Smoke? Oh. You just wanted that taste of real cinnamon toast.
With a crunch. It's part of this complete breakfast.
Hey, everybody goes for the Cinnamunchy Crunchy taste.
Of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Till next time, everybody, Super Mario!
No nuts about it. Chip and Dale are two of the funniest chipmunks, and they're next, right here on Channel 2.
From side to side, come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step, and then again, let's do the Mario. All together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario. Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step, and then again, let's do the Mario. All together now. Come on now, just like that.
All right, baby. The latest, greatest, #1 mind-blowing hit.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Yum on the end.
Oh, that's a sweet taste of honey with the crunch is kind of nutty.
Did I hear Honey Nuts?
Part of this complete breakfast, Honey Nut Cheerios.
Hi, I'm Rosalie. I don't know how to do tune-ups, brakes, or general repair, but what I do know is how to get Sequoia graduates good jobs. Look at this. Call some employers wanting our graduates to go to work. And the money is really good in most cases. Car dealerships, shops, stores, and more. Would you like one of these jobs after you graduate? Then better call this number now. Get your training at Sequoia, then come and see Rosalie. We'll work to get you the job for which you qualify. I mean it.
At the California Academy of Sciences.
Join Scrooge McDuck, World Reaches Taiwan, and his fun-loving nephews on DuckTales, day at 4:30 on Channel 2.
Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers return after after these messages.
You can see the little lost and found, but what can be so cold and alone? Especially the babies who have no homes.
Come live with me.
You can dry their tears and give them a home.
Oh, baby. I'll feed you.
And love them never again.
Dry their real tears and give them their bottles. Lover lost and found, each sold separately from Galoob.
Sega Genesis sweepstakes.
Handy Snack.
You could win this cool t-shirt, or even a Sega Genesis video system with color TV and 30 game cartridges. Look for game cards in specially marked boxes or a P.O. Box 4028, Blair, Nebraska 68009. Thousands will play, hundreds will win, but enter today. The game ends soon.
And now back to Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers will return after these messages.
Go ahead, you can give it a swirl. It's the only home in the whole wide world. We have to find you can give it a swirl. It's only now, make a dance on the ground. Only a you can give it a swirl.
Fun to eat. 6 great flavors.
Old Deal Swirls. The swell and fun part is complete breakfast.
This is the Sequoia Institute Training Bulletin. This week, the Sequoia Job Placement Assistance Office received calls from employers looking for qualified graduates to work in these fields. Auto dealership technicians, repair shop mechanics, tune-up technicians, city auto truck maintenance. Call Sequoia if you're looking for the training that will help you to one of these good-paying jobs. Call now. Learn how most Sequoia students receive financial aid and get the training for their state license exam. Classes are forming, so call Sequoia now.
I'm sunk.
Hey, you're not sunk. When you power up with a complete protein-packed breakfast with low-sugar Cheerios, you're unsinkable. Follow me. You're unsinkable with those Cheerios. We are go with those unsinkable Cheerios. Your power to go. All right. Are you sinkable?
Touring the Ring World after the U.S. Winter Fest program. From now until
track. All right, yeah! Test them, tune them, tweak them, race them head to head. The Super 8 track has a fair start gate.
Go, go! And a daredevil crossover.
Whoa! Yeah! And here's Record Breakers Racing Tip number 8. Connect your track with your friend's track.
For Record Breakers neighborhood competition.
Yeah, get them!
Record Breaker!
I win! World of
Picture this, our Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
But first, we better taste it. It is cinnamony and sweet. Crunchy, too. That means it's Cinnamunchy Crunchy.
Do something to eating all the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Smile.
You just wanted that taste of real cinnamon toast. With a crunch. It's part of this complete breakfast.
Everybody goes for the Cinnamunchy Crunchy taste.
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
You know, predators aren't bad, but they're in trouble because of poaching and shrinking habitats. To learn more, write Predators. National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C., 20036.
Fight poverty. Join the other side. Silver Spoons, today at 5 on Channel 2. Disney's DuckTales will return after these messages.
Look, Toucan. Would have made the shot of a heavy practice through breakfast.
Ah, then fruit flavor should be your aim. Follow my nose.
It's a fast break.
Kellogg's Fruit Loop cereal with natural orange, lemon, and cherry flavor. And lots of vitamin C, part of this complete breakfast. Have some.
Oh, boy, it's a slam dunk.
You can capture toucan salmon in flavor every feed. Kellogg's Fruit Loop holograms. 3 different 3D jungle adventures. You can collect them all.
Meet the Mix-em-up monsters. Watch what they do. They mix their tails and their middles too. It's a monster mix-up at McDonald's. There's 4 Mix-em-up monsters to mix. One in every McDonald's Happy Meal.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alphabet for you and me. You can spell rock if you roll. Take a swim in your milk. Even spell in your bowl. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alphabet for you and me. Post-alphabet cereal is the fun part of this good-for-you breakfast. Only alphabet is A, B, C, D.
And now, back to Disney's DuckTales. Disney's DuckTales will return after these messages.
Golden Grams presents
More of the Golden Ball.
when a sweet swirl of honey hits a big bunch of graham cracker crunch. You're not just good.
No, please.
You're golden.
Uh-oh.
Golden Grams, the golden part of your complete breakfast. New pocket power dairy.
must come down.
Yay!
Having Crunch cereal is a tasty part of a complete breakfast.
Oh, he flies for the birds.
Ah!
Gee, Ronald, my new car turns into a robot.
Great, let's see. Wow, Grimace, did you know I can turn into a McDonald's?
Let me see.
Okay, I'm turning into a McDonald's.
Me too.
These books are totally awesome. McDonald's has Berenstain Bears stories, punch-outs, even bears to color. You get one activity book or storybook with each Happy Meal you buy. 8 new Berenstain Bears books at McDonald's.
Play-Doh Make-A-Meal presents the Cookin' Out play set, sub-shop, and rainbow packs sold separately.
I'm grilling all my favorite foods from hot dogs to steak. Frying up some burgers, toasting marshmallow.
They're great.
With Play-Doh you can make a meal impossible to beat.
The Play-Doh Fun Factory and rainbow packs sold separately.
Down it goes, out it comes. That's how Play-Doh makes it fun. Fun Factory
makes more than before. Hearts, bars, snakes, and more. Fun Factory.
Okay, Chip, when you hear the Cookie Crisp train, give me the signal.
Okay, boss.
Cookie Crisp can't resist Cookie Crisp cereal.
Oh, eat crisp. That's a well-trained dog. Now with extra chips, Cookie Crisp, here we come.
Nice of you to drop in, boys. Too bad you won't be enjoying any Cookie Crisp cereal. A delicious part of this nutritious breakfast.
Oh, got it.
No other cereal tastes like this. Cookie Crisp.
If laughter is the best medicine, then you'll feel great with a spoonful of laughs from Silver Spoon. Next on Channel 2.
Somebody said to me, you know, that they were kind of down on their luck and needed a direction in life, needed a place to go. You know, I would say, suggest to them go to Sequoia, training in the automotive field.
I really enjoy coming to school.
They teach you really well here. You know, I feel really about Sequoia.
Call Sequoia Institute now for facts on day and evening classes, financial aid for those who qualify, and job opportunities after graduation.
Hi, I'm Matt Rapicki.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Martin.
We're the new Kingstown reporters.
It's every guy's dream living arrangement. Join Jack and the gang on Three's Company today at 5:30 on Channel 2.
You know it happened right here 20 years ago.
Goodbye, the world, the hope, the filled with love. I'd like to teach the world to say, can't beat the feeling, can't stop it, can't stop it, feeling it gets from the passing, can't beat the feeling, can't beat the real thing.
Hershey's Bar None. For people with a passion for chocolate.
Trust us to treat you right. Here at Stevens Creek Toyota, that promise has made us #1 in Toyota sales in all of Northern California for 3 years running.
Prices like this: tough Toyota trucks, $66.88. 1990 Camry luxury sedans, $99.75. Economy Tercel EZs, $59.95. Corolla sedans, only $79.75.
Trust us to treat you right.
So for big savings on new Toyotas, come see us at Stevens Creek Toyota, San Jose.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and I read something that convinced me that Beech-Nut Stage's baby food is the best. Their labels. I became a Beech-Nut mother because only Beech-Nut Stages has unique quality ingredients like Chiquita bananas and Regal Imperial carrots.
I wanted only the very best for our daughter, and no modified tapioca starch like you'll find in other leading brands. So give your baby Beech Nut Stages, the right food at the right stage. Compare labels yourself. There is a difference with Beech Nut Stages.
10% off at squarespace.com.
I've got a what? A rush! I really do! It's inconceivable. How can I possibly have a cavity?
If your little kid has a cavity, we've got news for you. Over the years, one toothpaste has helped prevent more cavities than all others combined. Not surprisingly, it's the toothpaste more dentists recommend. Crest.
This is a totally incredible visit. Yeah, it's great!
Crest, it's hard on cavities, easy on you.
Out of here.
September 2018,
From Touchstone Pictures, Stuart McBain's paying his 3 spoiled rich kids to move out of the house.
I'll give you $750 each.
I don't think we're really ready to live on our own yet.
Think of it as just a little survival test.
But when the money runs out, panic sets in.
I want to come home!
Now they'll have to toil, sweat, and do the unthinkable.
You mean get a job?
To make it on their own.
This is America. Don't we have rights? Not without money, you don't.
Where the Heart Is, a John Borman film, rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Shanghai Airport to the outskirts of Shanghai.
Right now, you'll never need to shop anywhere else but S&K Toyota. Here's one. Other Toyota dealers advertise prices that are for one vehicle only and are disclaimed by a serial number. S&K's prices aren't just for one vehicle or misleading. For example, S&K has 11 of these two-wheel drive trucks, all on sale for $69.88. 13 of these Tercels on sale for $59.88. 11 of these Corollas on sale for $79.88. And 12 of these Camrys, all on sale for $99.88. S&K Toyota on Mission Boulevard in Hayward.
Question. Which face pad has stronger medicine than OxyPad?
Try it.
Lyricist. Wrong. Nobody has stronger medicine than OxyPad.
There goes our ride home.
How Alvin Perkinson eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
I divide my Reese's into 4 equal portions. I have the proper tools, you see. That way my taste experience is quadrupled. Yum, yum, yum. And
there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
China's huge population makes it very special. And Kids Town too! A whole new Kids Club just for you! We've got more! Discount prizes! And a brand new magazine. To get your free membership card, here's all you have to do. Send a postcard with your name, address, and birthday to Kids Town Box Club. P.O. Box 22221, Oakland 94623. Box Kids Club from Kids Town.
Even makes sense in China on longer routes where it wouldn't in other countries. Beijing and Shanghai, for example, are about 650 miles apart. Normally, that would be too far for high-speed rail to use them.
Currents before resurrection. We must adapt as forward to society.
And how will we know when we get there?
No, Kellogg's Fruity Marshmallow Krispies. Part of a complete breakfast.
Up to 12.
Now, in Fruity Marshmallow Krispies, you get Skittles bite-sized candies, colorful candy shells, fruit flavor in the middle. One fun-size pack free to Fruity Marshmallow Krispies.
While Beijing Shanghai by train takes 4 hours and 28 minutes.
Hello, Bumbo. I'm looking for David. Have you seen him? No. Okay, Bumbo. I take it David doesn't like his cereal. That's what's making me up. Okay, is there anything that they want for breakfast in particular? Kellogg's cornflakes, Bumbo? Those are Daddy's cornflakes. Okay. Are you happy now?
Kellogg's cornflakes, part of this nutritious breakfast.
Okay, what's the story now, Bumbo? David wants more because Bumbo is the first one, right? Okay, you got it.
Largest Chinese airlines.
Work it out, so could go with the fruit flavors. Just follow my nose. It's always not. Kellogg's True Fruit, natural orange, lemon, and cherry flavors, plus vitamin C. Part of this complete breakfast. Delicious. What? Oh, no.
Whistling Cracks is fun and free in Fruit Loops.
Okay, kids, I'm here to teach you something really important, and you gotta remember it, but let's touch on it later. Now listen carefully, here we go. Drinking and driving don't mix. You hear what I said? Anybody who drinks alcohol should not drive a car.
Other train routes
Nobody
in China
under any circumstance should drink and drive.
For
It's
example,
dangerous
in
and can cause a crash.
2014, the new high-speed train line opened between Guangzhou and Urumqi. These two cities are relatively small by Chinese standards. They both have a population of 3.5 million, and between them are only small towns. They're also not close. About 1,000 miles.
Stay tuned. That rat.
Therefore,
Woody Woodpecker is next, right here on Fox Channel 11.
They're modestly sized cities with nothing big in between.
Sunday, the president goes looking for his country's roots.
I don't want to meet the elite. I want to talk with Joe Average.
But his plan sparks a domestic crisis.
Do you really think your father or I enjoy going on this fool's errand? We hate every degrading new stuff.
Sunday at 9 on Fox Channel 11.
Was $20 billion.
We'll never get this cookie cereal.
With the wheel, keep things away. My chocolate chip cookie.
Looks like you flipped over the taste of this crispy part of your cookie breakfast.
If you like cookies, you'll love Cookie Crisp. It's the Cookie Crisp Win a Hero game. In specially marked boxes, you can get 3 free baseball cards plus an instant win card. Millions will enter, thousands may win balls, bats, and gloves. One will win a day with a big, big star. For games run right boxing 567 Westport, Connecticut. Watch out, America. You never know where Zappit will pop up next. Bobby! The color disappears, but the fun never ends.
Hey, Bobby!
Zappit, complete with guns and disappearing liquid. Additional refills in red or blue sold separately. Zappit, the color disappears, but the fun never ends.
It's no more pretty in pink for Molly Ringwald as she stars with John Cassavetes and Jenna Rollins in Tempest tonight at 9 on Fox Channel 11.
Drive carefully, Fred.
Don't worry, Wilma. I'm an expert driver.
But that Truckosaurus isn't. Look out!
This isn't the first time that they've used this tactic of railroad politics.
Fred, did you get hurt?
No, but I got a great idea. These mines and hooks will keep our whole family in place.
You're so clever, Fred.
Buckle up, everybody. I think I just invented seatbelts. Yeah, but
directly from Beijing to Lhasa, Tibet in 47 hours on the highest
Disney Magic, Disney Adventure, Disney Comedy. Join the fun of the wonderful world of Disney. Weekdays at 5 on Fox Channel 11.
Even the train to Hong Kong,
from outer space, she's landing in your town. Space age girl around, Inspector and Spark. Shiny pink, kids, lake, space wear. That's right, I love to fix your sparkly hair. Now we're ready for your welcome to Earth party. Fun, spinning all around. Wow! Space age is going down. Spark, too. You could tell. Look for the free Cimarron travel kit offer and Inspector Passers. Great necklace. There's something strange in nature. Look for it, you're cool. Let's find those ghosts.
Battery's not good.
Yeah, I'm no ghost, but he is. I'll project one too. Over here. Nice. Fire ghost bastard. Type high frequency. We ain't afraid of no God.
Ghost Zapper Ghost Projector Gun. Sold separately. Ghostbusters 2 from Genesis.
Like anything to get Fred's feel with Rudy Pebbles, Ramrock Jones. Hey, Rudy Ulysses. Honey, into the swing of things. I'm Rudy, a Cocoa Pebble cereal. Artificial nutritious breakfast. Never dabba delicious.
So you can look real cool and not wicked. You can see out, but they can't see inside.
Private eyeglasses. Want an especially marked box of Pope's Pebble cereal.
There's a new marshmallow animal inside Circus Fun cereal. What is it? With scale, they're making high-speed cheaper. The big difference between China and a lot of the Western world, particularly countries like the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and UK, is that high-speed rail is at the top of the government's priorities. Unsurprisingly, given their government structure, in many ways, China has placed social benefit, at least by the definition of the central government, ahead of profitability when developing their high-speed rail network. High-speed rail lines just aren't as profitable as other means of transport, like planes, but they are undoubtedly better for countries, so you have to consider the social benefit when looking at their overall profitability. For the San Francisco to LA high-speed rail route, for example, one study found that the social benefit derived from lower carbon emissions, higher worker productivity, and reduced casualties from fewer people on the road would be equivalent to about $440 million per year. As it turns out, this is opposed to the exact amount the state has.
pilot, precision paint job, 14 wheels, micro machine cars, fast variety, including Lamborghini, Trans Am, Corvette, Rover, 4-blazer, pickup charger, and many more. Micro machine planes, polished, perfect precision, like F-15, Corsair, Space Shuttle, P-51, Mustang, micro machine boats, fabulous leader, tugs, PTs, and speedboats. Talk about small. Micro machines are less gargantuan than a grasshopper, and rigid as a marble, and smaller than a silver dollar. Hey, Dad! You want to get more micro machines to add to our collection? Yeah! A miniature midget colossal collection of micro machines. Collection, trade, and race of the micro machines set sold separately from Galoo.
It is growing what are already some of the largest cities.
Hey, Scotty, what level are you at with these Sega games?
These lines connecting the largest cities are some of the most popular airlines in the world, and making the The question is, when you look at the high-speed trains to smaller cities,
Your charm will establish indestructible alliances with the strongest leaders of the world. Keep your friends close by your side.
For example, a smaller city of only 1 million is about a 45-minute drive east of the city center. The hope is that stations, but this network structure, even if it saves time on the train, wastes time before and after, which degrades the benefit of high-speed rail. In all, China is really the first country to have experimented with long-distance high-speed rail through less dense areas in its west. In the East today, these trains are larger than the country's economic power, which just one of the many factors speeding up China's catch-up with its largest countries. Even though China is building these trains for less and construction.
Don't go away. Porky and his friends will return after these messages.
Because they have one thing other country lacks: the political will for high-speed trains.
Yama yama.
We've got the
Fruit Island has real apples on every island. With cherry, orange, and lemon taste, so please, King Yama Yama. Oh, how does it taste? Oh, mighty King.
Yama yama.
Fruit Island's friend cereal who's started with the great breakfast.
Yama yama. You can say it too.
It's a large-scale solution bubblegum.
When you can choose just one, Charms for Pops make it lots of fun. Cause the great Charms lollipops are soft bubble gum. They're made by Charms in lots of juicy flavors. You love everyone. Ooh, lollipops, soft bubble gum.
This video was made possible by Squarespace. Build your custom website for 10% off by going to squarespace.com/Wendy.
This is not your ordinary sale. This is Colton Piano and Organ's 4-day, 40-hour bargain blaster this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. Buy any piano or organ in stock. Pay no interest and make no payments until January 1988. Save up to 70% on all new and used pianos, player pianos, organs, guitars, drums, and amps. Buy now and pay no interest and make no payments until January 88. It's our 4-day, 40-hour bargain blaster this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. At all 9 Colton Piano and Organ supermarkets, the world's largest.
In fact, the entire
it's time for more.
Los Angeles, a countdown has begun as it has every night for billions of years. A countdown that signals the start of a magnificent journey, a journey that begins when you open your eyes and see.
Once the main flower rice is cultivated in June and July, another slightly messed up
And now back to more Superstars fun with those lovable characters, Porky and his friends.
more food using the same amount of food.
Don't go away. Porky and the whole gang will return in just a moment.
Calories of flour. Rice, on the other hand, grows 11 million calories.
Time for stealing, Beagle Boy. We're making movies.
But China does have its geographical challenges.
Here comes the magic and adventure that is pure Disney.
Laos, and
As your fine feathered friends drop by for non-stop action and excitement.
More! I want to see more!
Vietnam's was set after the Sino-French War. Laos's was set following its involvement in the Vietnam War. And Myanmar's was set following a small war with China in the 60s. None was naturally set by the environment. All were chosen arbitrarily by humans. These countries are not insignificant. Combined, they have nearly 1 million active characters, while China, the much larger country, has just over 2 million. Significant conflict with any of these countries would not be a one-sided war. While China would have the technological advantage, any of these 3 countries would have a significant home field. Vietnam, Laos, and Myanmar are all jungle countries, the most difficult environments for warfare. This was part of the reason why the Vietnam War lasted so long. It's just so hard to move troops in the jungle, so everything slows down. Without
Step
any
out of that
geographical
gown
protection
for
of
a
its
night
borders,
on
it
the
would be
town.
significantly easier for Vietnam,
Just
Laos,
right
or
for a
Myanmar
disco
to invade
night.
China.
Barbie has one more
China
secret.
does
The
have an
ball
advantage
gown is a purse. For you.
China and India just
Two
aren't
dazzling
good
looks with
friends.
matching
They
play
have
jewels
border
and
disputes,
also
military
separately.
conflicts,
Mattel.
political differences, so it's just hard for
Superstars
them to
excitement
get along.
continues
And
with
that's why
Popeye.
Tibet
Next,
is so
right
important.
here on Fox.
Tibet was
Channel
historically
11.
its own empire. It was only in the last 300 years that China
The
Tibetan people are ethnically different than the Han Chinese and Han Chinese West. It just doesn't make sense for Tibet to be part of China, except militarily. Only 0.2% of China's population lives in Tibet, which accounts for nearly 13% of the country. More people live in the inner foreign districts of Beijing than the entirety of Tibet. It's just incredibly desolate,
any pair of
but it
kids'
serves a
rights,
purpose.
we'll throw in a
If
flying
China
saucer
didn't rule
free.
Tibet, then India would. Maybe not formally, but there's little chance that an independent Tibet would not be economically and culturally dominated by either India or China. It just doesn't have enough power economically or militarily to resist. But in China's view, it could not and cannot allow for an Indian Tibet. Indian rule of Tibet would mean that there would be no geographical protection between the populated area of China and India, because Tibet is that geographical protection. Not only does Tibet